Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Saturday, March 23rd, 2019. My name is Rich, and joining me once again is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, bro. Greetings and salutations.
Oh, it is a wonderful time to be alive with fresh new games in the air to review. I mean, how could you not be excited as an ANW fan when American Ninja Warrior Challenge has been released?
I know. Such amazing times, right? Yay! It's what we've all been hoping for.
It is. Like, how could we not love an ANW game? We are both gamers. We both love video games. We both love American Ninja Warrior. What could go wrong?
Nothing. I mean, I've always wanted a game from 1999.
A mobile game from back in the flip phone days. Yeah, that's about...
Yeah.
So, if you haven't caught on, we are going to be talking a little bit. We're not going to get into a huge amount of detail, I think, on American Ninja Warrior Challenge, the video game, as well as...
They don't want us to.
We're also going to talk a
me.
little bit of ANW Junior, but this week, it isn't Canada that failed. Apparently, San Diego has their problems with some video streaming, too.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, y'all, but I cannot get the stream to work. Like, it's one thing after another, Rich. Like, we just cannot win.
Yeah, I don't get it. It is funny because... Like, I'd be willing to pay. I'd go out, I'd buy, like, it on iTunes or wherever, like, paid or some download site. There's just nowhere to even get it. It's really annoying.
I mean, it cannot be found. The only way to do it is, like, upgrade your service or whatever. And it's like, I don't have cable, so not only would I have to get cable, but then upgrade that, you know? It's like, why don't they just give me an option for streaming online? Come on, Universal. You can do this.
Yeah, it's not that hard, I don't think. But we'll get to that. We'll do that second. Let's get into the game here first. So because my biggest issue with this, where do we even start with this? I don't even know where to start.
Well, full discretion, because it's very important to be 100% transparent. Rich and I both were given free codes from the developers to try out the game.
That's true. That is 100% true. This is not sponsored in any way, but we didn't have to buy the game, thankfully.
Yes.
I will say that colors my perception of it a bit. I can't help it because I kind of had fun. I got to admit, it is not a good game, but I kind of enjoyed it because it didn't really matter.
I mean, I play a lot of games, and it's hard for me to, I wanted to at least find something, I don't care whatsoever if I paid for the game, or, well, I would care a lot more in a vehement way, negatively.
Right.
But, them giving me the code really doesn't make me want to color in sunshine of roses. I went into this game, though, for the community, really wanting to find at least some aspect of this game to at least be like, well, at least it has this. And, I mean, from the get-go, I mean, they're just the most basic, fundamental aspects of a video game, at least with these types, with the graphics and, like, how little is actually given in this game. I was really appalled by the load times, if anything. Because, like, hey,
right.
Graphics, whatever. But, like, there's no reason this game should have a load time from the menu to the next screen to the next screen. I mean, it's one after another.
I was blown away by that. It's not a huge download. It's not an intense graphic game. I don't understand the load times. It doesn't make any sense. I do have a few things I can say in its favor, and we'll intersperse them a little bit here. So, yes, first impression is terrible load times. Absolutely. Second impression is the tutorials, like the little things to get you moving, were not intuitive at all. So I'm like waiting for it to do something. It's not. I start pushing buttons and realizing it's like loading up one word at a time up into the screen. And I'm like, what is this thing doing? It's just foolishness.
Yeah. How'd you feel about, like the tutorial where like the button prompts, like the timing? Like I went into pro mode and I just instantly kept falling into the water. I didn't realize like you have to do it quick. Yeah, how'd you feel about that?
That was my entertainment. That was the thing. So I gotta say that was, I'll give that almost it's kind of a pro because I was laughing. I kept falling in the water and I was struggling with a little bit. And I kind of had fun with that part as I'm like, oh my God, what is with me? I can't get the stupid timing down. I don't know if it's the games or if it's just my poor ability or what. I kind of get the swing of it. I did play it for like an hour and a half probably. And I'll probably play it some more, but...
Oh, bless your heart. You are not. I want this so badly. Please play it like to the finish, like of the campaign. Like we need a full-on report and review from you because there's no way I'm doing it. But please, Reggie, do it for me. So do it for the fans.
That's the thing. If anyone wants to, I'll see if maybe I can record some and put some video up on YouTube. I do feel bad because they provided the codes. I don't want to go on YouTube and just tear them all apart. So, but I do want to be honest. I'm not going to give them a glowing review. So I may just like leave out commentary and you can just watch what it's like to play.
It's like, take from it what you want. Hey man, I honestly want to have like, I don't know, make it however you want, but I think it might be fun, honestly, to put up like maybe some footage of you playing it and, maybe not reviewing it, but just talking about like what it's like, or I don't know, talking to your daughters or just talking to people. I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun for you, man.
My daughter was watching it, and we were both kind of laughing. Like, she was bashing on it even worse than I was, because I was kind of laughing and enjoying it. It almost crosses over into the so bad it's good. Not good. It is not a $50 game, and that's the main message I want to get across.
Whoa. It's $50? That's how much it's retailing for?
Oh, for me, it was 53 something Canadian. So I think it was probably 40 American.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought this was like one of those discounts. Okay. That's appalling. No way.
Yes.
Man.
If you are a parent out there, or if you're a child and you're thinking maybe you want this game, do not pay full retail for this game.
I mean, yeah, I could be wrong, but I don't believe there's any like online mode in this game.
No,
there's a lot of elements that are lacking in this, but yeah, let's break down like the major points of this game though. One major factor is, for everybody at home that doesn't know about the minutia of this game, is that it is played, the main basis of the gameplay is quick time events. It's not a game like a platformer or something that you'd expect it to, where you have a button for jumping and grabbing and shimming and things like that. It's not. You go up to an obstacle and you press the button prompts on the screen in a timed motion. And yeah, if you know anything about those, there's not really like that's not really a gameplay mechanic. It's not. That was implemented into video games during cutscenes. So therefore, you can have control of the game while watching a cutscene. And it's never been a factor of, oh, I'm having fun. Like, this is not a fun basis level gameplay mechanic. And that, in my opinion, is a fundamental flaw. In a video game, the gameplay is paramount, and it is lacking in that sense fully.
I think something, a more modern game that it would relate to, and actually Julia brought this up, my daughter, said it plays like Minecraft story mode, where you have to mash, but it'll just bring up a prompt, like mash the A button and you just push it. Right.
I mean, but with that, the main gameplay of like adventure story-based games like Minecraft story mode is the story, the narrative, and you choosing the path. It's basically like pick your own adventure.
Yes.
Once again, like I was saying, the QuickTime events are a portion of it, where it's not necessarily, it's a cutscene. It's a cutscene that you just have control over. That's not the gameplay in that game. The gameplay in that game is deciding where you're going next.
Right.
So
no,
this is
I
a
was
problem.
agreeing with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so all I'm saying, and I understand what your point, man. But what I'm saying is like they've made this small element of games that isn't meant to be a fun mechanic and made it the entire basis of the video game. And right there is the most fundamental, biggest problem of the whole thing.
So beyond that, so being able to time the taps of the keys is the biggest. That is the game. The other elements
Everything you
we
wanted
have,
going on to the warped wall, right? And sorry, go
yeah.
ahead, man.
The one thing I was waiting for was the salmon ladder, and I thought, I don't know, it felt that was the only one that really kind of felt natural to me. Most of it just feels stupid. Like the steps kind of make sense, I guess. The left, right, but no, the salmon ladder. I don't know, something with the timing of it that was a little satisfying somehow. I don't know
never
why.
got to that one. So how does the salmon ladder? Like, let's give an example to everybody at home. Like, what do you do with the salmon ladder?
Okay, so for the salmon ladder, you have to tap the circle button to have it start the motion swinging up, and then quickly switch to hitting the left one and right one buttons to snap onto the next rung. And you have to time it right, or you'll fall. And so it's circle, left one, right one, circle, left one, right one, and it's just got this weird motion to it that, it kind of felt okay compared to most of it.
Okay.
Like the jumping spider is a nightmare.
What do you do on that one?
You've got to hit all the buttons, but you've got to hit like left one, right one, left two, and R2 all at the same time. And then you've got to kind of rotate between them, like hitting like the top ones and the bottom ones. I can't quite get it down. I did manage to get through just like spamming the buttons really one of the times, but it's not intuitive. It's hard to time, and you just keep falling. I don't know. There's something weirdly, man. I do not want to make it sound like I enjoyed this game, because I did not. But I was getting frustrated, and I kind of like beating my head against a brick wall sometimes on video games, like things like Super Meat Boy in games where it's like kind of tough and weirdly just frustrating. I just kept doing it until I could get it through it. I wanted to make sure I could get to the end and hit the buzzer. So I'll probably keep at it a bit, and I'll have to report back. But it's just it's got weird elements. So I mean, I'm dragging on about these stupid button mashing, but there's so much more to it as far as stupidity.
I was about to say there ain't much to it. I mean, the game is very simplistic, but not simplistic. It actually has difficulty because it asks a lot of you from the prompts, but the main problem that I have is just not fun, and that's a very subjective thing. I welcome anybody that believes it is fun, but for me, it just wasn't. But there is a lot of very basic level factors that also are problematic when it comes to this game. I mean, when this is basically in their approach to the genre, it models itself after a sports game, with a career mode. And you build yourself up, and that's fine, training and all that stuff. You expect it all there. First things first, create your own character, right? Oh, you get to choose your name, you got to make your own character, all this stuff. Well, guess what? You don't even get to enter your own name into this. Like, why? They have set names for you to choose from a list. My name is Bijan. Like, that's not an American name, okay? And there are a million other people in this country that don't have the names Daryl or Bob or Benjamin, like, and you have to choose a last name too from a set list. Why? There's no point of it. From what I could be wrong, but I don't believe Akbar and Matt in their VO say the person's name. There's no reason. No,
that's what I was waiting for too. Where I was like, oh, they must have done that so that you can have them say it, and maybe at some point they do, but they didn't in all the playtime I had.
No, I mean, and everything is basically very, very limited. You choose where you're from. Well, you don't get to enter in through the prompts, like, type in where you're from. No, you have a set list. And same thing for, I will give it to them choosing your profession from a set list. That's fine. I get it. but like the other things, you should 100% be able to customize. And then when it comes to create your own character, the options for creating your avatar is extremely limited. I mean, hey, at least they have a bald head option. I mean, wow, my standards were real low coming into that part. So I was like, wow, actually, I can have a bald character. That's good on you, I guess. But going into that, man,
it's one of the worst character creators I think I've seen. It was pretty awful.
It's just limited. I mean, once again, everything about this game is incredibly limited. And it's very unfortunate because honestly, for how much passion is involved with the sport and how many fans we have, not to mention young fans in the sport, I mean, if you're going to make a game for American Ninja Warrior, you can really make it right. There's a lot of avenues you can go in. And if you just can't figure out the gameplay, there are other like side things at least that you should be able to get right because it's just standard in the video game community. There's no reason there's not an online component. There is no reason that the create your character is so darn limited. There are a lot of minor things like that, not to mention 100% due to the fact that there's barely any animation in this game, barely any VO in this game, and barely any graphics that should, like, chug anything, there is absolutely no reason there should be load times as prevalent as there is. Not to mention, man, have you seen, like, the logo in this game chugs, like, across the screen? It can't even get that right. I don't know.
The smoke effects and stuff are terrible. Like, everything.
I don't want to bash too much, but I just feel like it's hard. I don't want to blame the developers because the developers, I feel like they bit off way more than they can chew. The developers have a history of making games that are not, I guess in this type of spotlight. And I feel like they've just been given way too much that they could have handled. And I feel bad for just how this has been given because no matter if they make a part like an American Ninja Warrior game too, I mean, first impressions are everything, guys.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like the character creation, that all could have been, all of those limitations could have been used in a creative way. So like why do we pick a career and stuff? I mean, and the city they're from is like that could be interesting if they had the voiceovers use the names that you put in there, right? If that was why they did that, so that you could have Matt and Akbar actually say your name and make references to your profession as you're running the course, and even have like a little segment for you, right? Use the city and the profession to make the character run through, right? Working at an ice cream parlor and stuff, and have a voiceover, like have a little segment before you start your runs. That could have been cute. That could have been a nice little thing they could have added that would have given some reason for all these limitations. But it's not there, not that I've seen.
No, I mean, there's just a lot more they can do. Hey, have a kid component. Honestly, like when you look at this game, what's most likely the number one type of like demographic that's going to pick up this game? It's going to be young children, right? Why isn't there an option for, hey, I'm a 12-year-old boy or 12-year-old girl, trying to raise up the ranks and prove myself or anything. There's a variety of ways and avenues you can go in this to create a story, create somebody that you connect with, somebody that you've always dreamed of being, right? But it doesn't give that opportunity. And it's unfortunate. Give a plus side, man. We're bashing too much.
I didn't plan to go on this long, but there's still so much more to bash on. So is
there anything
modes.
good? We gotta sprinkle it in, and I don't have any goods, but you said you did, so
I did.
Give a good.
I enjoyed the salmon ladder. I thought it was fun falling in the water over and over again, trying to get the timings down. That might be it. There wasn't a whole lot. I was laughing just at some of it. Like I was just kind of enjoying the ridiculousness at times, like in the training mode. So I did career mode off the bat, and I did a few days, or actually a few competitions and stuff. So on your off days, you have 3 options, and I'm doing this from memory too, so I hope I get this right. There were 3 options. One was workout, and the workout you pay $250 for to raise a skill level. Was all that was. It didn't do anything. It didn't show anything. You just picked speed, stamina, focus, or strength, I think it was. And you could raise up one of those stats. If you chose, instead of workout, if you chose training, you basically ran the course. And if you succeeded and hit the buzzer, you raised your stats. And then the third option was basically skip ahead to the competition, skip all your training. It was just riveting gameplay. Like I just couldn't wait to get there, to spend that $250 to work out my speed. Like it was just so weird. Like what does that even mean? Like I couldn't understand. I expected, it's just weird to have this money component. You start with $1,000. It costs $250 to train, but you can earn money by winning competitions. We earn like $100. Like, and then when you have to unlock things, so if you want to make your own custom course, it costs $10,000 to add the ultimate cliffhanger. It's like $10,000. You must have to beat Mount Midoriyama to get that, because how long? $100 a pop. How long is it going to take to get that much money? Like it's just nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's. Well, I'm just gonna say it. It's basically a turd that's been shined, or
Yeah.
as much as they can, and I don't know. It's just unfortunate. The one last point that I'm gonna make, and then I just want to stop the bashing or just move on, is the animation is incredibly lackluster and almost hilarious. When I said originally in the previews of like, hey, maybe it's going to be so bad it's good, like, you commented earlier, the animation was so ridiculous that I'm like just laughing. When you fall into the water, your character, I don't know what it does, but it kind of just spazzes out and then kind of like shifts over in an robotic way with his arms upwards, like in a weird like scarecrow angle. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really bad. And yeah, I just don't know what the plan was. Honestly, my only guess could be that this was originally a mobile game that they ported over to the consoles because they thought they can make more money. And I could be completely wrong, but like that's the only way I can imagine it, because the graphics are mobile game graphics, well, less than that, honestly, and the animation and everything else is based upon what you might see at a low level mobile game, nowhere near a console game. But I mean, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I talked about it at work, and when I was talking to Julia, I said it's basically a mobile game. It really is. It controls like one in a lot of ways. It's got the character selection, like choosing the names and all that stuff. It kind of makes more sense if it was mobile. You could scroll down on like a tablet or your phone and pick your name and location and all that stuff. Like, and a lot of it screams mobile to me too, especially like you said, the graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I covered most of the items. I should hate it more than I do. Like I said, I'll probably play a little bit more. To me, if that came out for $5, I would say good on them. They made like a goofy little Ninja Warrior game for everyone to try. Kids will probably have some fun with it. It's not great, but whatever. It's $5, maybe even 10. 10 would be pushing it though. At $50 or $40 US, that is, to me, that reeks of a cash grab, and that really bothers me because I feel like that's taking advantage of consumers and taking advantage of fans. That is not anywhere on par with any $40 or $50 games out there. I've never seen anything priced so ridiculously in my life.
Yeah, I mean, you can play some of the best PS4 and Xbox games on the market of the generation for $20 or less, I always thought, like, seriously, I thought this was a $20 game, and I thought it was too much. When you said 50, I mean, that that blew my mind, man. Or 40, whatever, but it's still ridiculous. I have to say I agree with all your sentiment that you said, Rich, and I think it's unfortunate that the consumers are probably going to suffer from this most. But honestly, I don't know. I trust that most people know what's up. I mean, how many people are going to buy this game? I I just don't know. Um, for $5, hey, have fun, play the dumb, goofy game. You know, you can get some enjoyment out of it for how dumb it is. But man, do not pick this up for anything close to $40 or $50. And I don't know. I still feel like this is a game that was made for mobile, so maybe we'll see it on mobile in a few months for $2 or something like that. Because that's really what nothing about this game. Trust me, nothing about this game says that it cannot be on my phone right now. And trust me when I say I have a lot more graphically and like animation and everything else intensive games on my phone. So, yeah.
Those load times, though, on a phone, whew, man, that would be rough.
That's probably why they didn't put it on the phone, right? Because those load times, like, you can't get away with that on a phone. Well, you can't get away with that in general. I mean, it's just that's the most that's bad.
So I will say this: I will offer, if anyone wants to see it, I will load it up to our YouTube page. I'll put something together and do it. If no one cares, I won't bother. But if you'd like to see it, I can definitely demonstrate it for you.
Yeah, and make sure you reach out to Rich. Don't reach out to me, because that's not happening. No, thank you. Not touching this game again. I could barely stomach 20 minutes. I was like, Rich, I'm done. Like, let's record. No way.
All right. So ANW Junior, I gotta kind of give Bijan the rundown here of what happened. And
this sucks, man. I want to watch the show. Make it easier, people.
That's the thing. Like, it's one thing is like, oh, we can't find Ninja Warrio UK. Oh, that's awful. What are we gonna do? But this show, we actually enjoy it. We want to see it, and it's frustrating when you can't find it. And I know some of you out there have that same frustration, right? So especially internationally, I've had people reach out on Twitter and other places trying to find the episodes. I'm sorry, it's on this niche channel, and people are not recording it and putting it up on streaming sites. So even if you want to get it, illegitimately, you can't. It's just nowhere to be found.
Yeah, but even if you want to get it legitimately, it's so niche that you have to not only have cable, but you have to have a special package of the cable, because it's that niche. So the audience is very, very limited. You can't get it on basic Cox or AT&T or Comcast or whatever you have. It's not on the regular cable stations. It's you have to buy a premium package, and that's just really asking a lot. But once again, I mean, what do I know? I'm not the audience.
Okay, so looking at the 9 to 10 range, we had first up Harlan Nelson versus David Futeran, who is a hardcore flag nerd. Harlan ended up going down on the TikTok after just not jumping on her first swing. So when she swung back, she couldn't get the jump across. So not a great start to the episode, unfortunately.
Yeah, but hey, get over with.
Yeah, and here's the thing, it kind of carried on. So Vienna Beaupre versus Jaleesa Himka, the ninja chef. Vienna missed the TikTok in the same way, and it was just it was a little back and forth here, because then we had a fast forward of Harlan versus Jaleesa, and Harlan fell again on the TikTok. So we had 3 TikTok falls in a row.
That's unfortunate. I feel bad for those kids.
Yeah.
But hey, hopefully they had fun, I mean, you got to give it a try.
Yeah, there was a lot. I have to say, there were some nasty falls and some struggles this episode, but some of them were kind of uplifting, right? The ones that struggled did really well when they came back. So I'll get to that as we go through. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to blow through a little fast here because, Bijan's going to comment on having not seen it, so I'll do what I can.
That's what I do.
We've got... So that meant that the winner of the first round, the flag nerd, David, was going up against Vienna. David shaved 12 seconds off of his time on his second run, with Vienna close behind. There was actually a really good race to wrap it up, but that meant that David, therefore, went to the finals versus Jaleesa.
Good on them, man. So Vienna, she fell originally, but she was able to, I guess, I guess prove herself and make it fully through and really give the kid a test for his money, so to speak, right?
Yeah, you totally got it. Yeah,
That's awesome.
She came back. She not only got past where she had made it, she actually put in a good race. And if she had kept that pace against David's original time, I think she would have won. But because David actually shaved 12 seconds off his own time, yeah, it was a good race.
In 12 seconds, that's huge, man. That is a lot.
That was a lot. He was really moving. Well, he felt the pressure of having her right behind him, right? Yeah. So he really put it on.
Well, props to both kids.
I'll just wrap this up here. Usually we circle back, but I'll do it right now. David versus Jaleesa in the final. David got ahead and just ended up winning. Jaleesa wasn't able to keep up, unfortunately.
I mean, we knew that was going to happen. It's
yeah, cool. Yeah. He was a little. He just had an easier. He had a much better day. There was a lot of TikTok falls and a lot of struggles, but at the end of the day, it was all good. They all put themselves out there. It's really good segments, I guess, for them as well. The Flag Nerd, the Ninja Chef, they had some really cute stuff there. But let's move on to the 11-12 range. We had Charlie Ham versus Braden Fredrickson. Very, very close race. A very jarring difference from the 9-10 bracket. Braden made a crazy discount from the rings, just ended up almost falling back, not quite falling backwards, but he came down pretty hard. So it came down to the wall. Braden missed it, but Charlie did end up making it up to bring it home for that race. But next was one of the highlights of the episode. We had Mariama Blankson versus Carly Snook, also known as Glitter Guns.
Glitter Guns?
Glitter Guns, yeah.
Is there a context of why?
Not that I remember. Not a very clear one.
Okay.
Mariama won it pretty easily, but Carly managed to beat it the whole course as well. She was really struggling. It really did not look like, to be honest, it did not look like she was going to make it through, but it just made it all the more compelling as she was just picking her way through the whole course. And it was so entertaining to watch, and you felt so good for her actually making it through and beating the wall, that they interviewed her afterwards, even though she got second place. She was the one they took to the sidelines.
That's awesome, man. Honestly, hey, if that was a more compelling run, props, interview her. Not to mention, her nickname is Glitter Guns. Yeah. We need to know why.
Yes, if you guys remember why, let us know. Remind me, please, because I do not recall exactly why they called her that. So Mariama then went up against Braden. That would be the winner from the second heat going against the second place from the first. Yeah, that's a confusing way of saying it. But Braden was a little bit faster, and Mariama fell on the flywheels trying to keep up. It happens. The faster you go to try to catch up that person in the lead, it's just likely to make a little slip up here or there.
Yeah. Were they neck and neck, going on to that, or was he pretty far ahead?
He wasn't really far ahead. He was just far enough ahead that she really had to push herself and couldn't quite do it.
Okay.
Then we had a fast forward of Charlie versus Carly. That is Carly being Glitter Guns. So Charlie ended up winning that one, but yet again, even though she was struggling, even though it looked like she may not do it, Carly was able to do it yet again.
Good on her, man.
Yeah. So then in the finals, we had Charlie versus Braden. Charlie ends up going 3-0. Braden was right on her tail. One of my favorite races. It was very close, and Braden gave it everything to try to catch her. He just couldn't quite do it.
So you said Charlie went 3-0. Where would you put Charlie, a girl or boy?
Yeah, I think Charlie was a girl.
Okay.
I might have said he along the way there because I forgot.
I just want to, I don't know the context. I'm curious, in the pantheon of all the other finalists that you saw, where is Charlie in there?
She was really good. I don't know if I would say, top of the top. I don't know if she'll be able to keep up with the best of them, but she was pretty high up, top 50%. He was really good.
Okay.
But, any given day, who knows?
You never know when a crayon's going to come up on that course, man. Just never know.
Well, that's the other thing. It's hard without context, right? So you watch two people race and you know how they are compared to each other, but you don't know overall times, where the race could have taken 50 seconds. If it looks like they were fast, depending on how it's edited, it's hard to tell sometimes where everybody falls.
Yeah.
Moving on to the 13-14 range, we had, oh boy, we had Jay Lache Lewis.
Oh my God, yes.
versus Cabot Sales, who does extreme pogo stick, and it was very extreme. Just a crazy, crazy fast run from these two. Jay got ahead and stayed there, but they were both incredibly fast.
I'm sorry, but if your nickname is Lache, like if it has Lache in it, you better be winning every race you have on this. I'm sorry. I'm saying it now. If he loses any of these, shame on you, Jay Lache. What happens in the second run, man?
Oh, I think my notes are wrong there because I'm pretty sure Cabot won that first round, actually.
Did Jay Lache lose?
He did. He did lose.
Where's my belt? Shame! Shame! Come on, Jay Lache. That's it. I shouldn't be shaming a teenager, but
no, you should not.
But
no,
still.
you should not. But he was incredible. Like, it was one of those close. You know, we've seen those races, especially in this particular bracket, where it's like, wow, that could have went either way. It was like that level of like an extremely good race.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah. Next up, we had Sophia Boulier versus Abby Richard. It was fast forwarded, actually. Sophia won when Abby missed the jump on the TikTok.
Man, you weren't lying, man. A lot of TikTok falls.
Yeah, TikTok was brutal this time around. They even cut to like to Drew showing people on the sidelines and then actually doing him demonstrating the obstacle. So it was the story of the episode for sure.
Yeah.
Then we had Sophia versus Jay. Jay Lache. That's what makes me say it because Sophia. Sophia won. Yeah, Sophia won, so she went against Jay, which means that Jay must have lost.
Yeah.
So Jay Lache ends up winning it pretty handily, but Sophia did hit the buzzer, had her personal victory of making it through. Because she had actually, like I would, it's hard to say what you would do in the circumstance, but I'm pretty sure she was the one that just like stopped running once she won. She was like, you know what, I'll save my energy and for the next race.
Props to her. I low-key feel like more kids need to do that. Or not kids, but athletes, competitors need to do that. If, and there's a big if they are going to have to run again very soon, you know?
Yeah.
Like, in particular, Ninja versus Ninja, it's like, oh, they have to run again, but oh no, let me do the whole course. It's like, all right, I get it, guys, but like, for real, save your energy.
Yeah, maybe if you've never hit the buzzer again or before and you think maybe you won't get a chance to, it might be worth it, but even still, I don't know. So after that, we had Cabot versus Abby. Abby had, I swear, the coolest segment of anyone that's ever been on any of these shows. I was
Those are some big
floored.
words, man. What happened?
I'm telling you, she is a contortionist, an aerialist, like she's a circus performer, and she does foot archery. She can shoot a bow and arrow with her feet. It was the craziest thing to watch. I was like absolutely mesmerized.
So you're saying like she can do like the pretzel and like weird things like that, right? But she can also like do like handstands and
she does like a handstand with her feet above her head, can draw a bow and fire it into a target. Like
that is some real
crazy
talent. Like that is legit.
In addition to like being able to work like the ribbons and all the other stuff that she was doing, like I forget what they're called, the silks. Mm-hmm. Nuts. Unfortunately, she ended up falling on the devil steps. Cabot just blew through with an even faster time than he did the first time around. So it was like, wow, this Cabot guy's pretty amazing. We're gonna have a rematch in the finals between Jay Lache.
Yeah, he sounds like the guy that.
Yeah, for sure. And he's got a huge height advantage, so he's 5'6" versus 5 foot. Like Jay Lache is a pretty short little guy.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But get this. Jay turned on the boosters and absolutely killed it. He ended up going faster than he did the first race round. Jay flew through the flying shelf shed, totally lived up to his name, Lache through it like a beast, and got the win.
Wow. He got the win when it mattered most, huh?
Yeah, he really turned it on. That was a really good race.
You know what? I take back my shame, Jay Lache.
Yes.
Get a little mini one for that. Good on you, bro. Good on you.
Yeah, you should have seen him go through it. It was like one of the best flying shelf grabs I've seen. It was really cool.
That's you know what? That's a cool ending to it, because in really, when you think about the overall storyline, you did have, what was the name of the kid that was winning everything?
Cabot.
You had Cabot like really putting off this aura that he was going to win, like the overall, and it was just I don't know,
Smoke screen.
no, I forget the term. Anyways, it was already going to happen, and we're just waiting for it to happen. But yeah, Jay Lache, he overcomes the adversity that he found against him in the first race, and he came from behind and fought his way to victory. Good on him. And he won when it mattered most. So, really cool.
So yeah, overall, a great episode. A little... I would say not quite as good as the last one we watched. Not as good as episode 11, maybe. Because that was a really good way to kick off the second half of the season. But 12 was solid. It had some good runs, some close ones. Still loving the show.
Yeah, man. It's good stuff. It was good hearing about it.
So that is it for this week. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Hit me up at Twitter and Instagram. I'm Bijan151. That is BIJAN 151.
All right. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all.